Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel English Tutor. In today's video, we are going to continue with the kinds of sentences, that is your imperative as well as exclamatory sentences. In my last video, I have covered declarative as well as interrogative sentences. If you want to learn about these two, so kindly watch my last video. For the same, I have left the link in the description box. So now let's start. Hello everyone, welcome to another lesson of English Tutor. Now when I was a kid in school, I was very notorious. I used to sit in the class at the back with my friends and I used to chit and chat while the teacher used to teach. So one day, my English teacher, she caught me and she said, "Leave the room immediately." And I was like, to whom is she saying this? Then she came a bit closer to me and she repeated, "Leave the room immediately." She did not say, "You leave the room immediately." Instead, she said, "Leave the room immediately." So this is the imperative sentence. She used an imperative sentence here. So yes, today we are going to learn about imperative sentences. So imperative sentences are basically the sentences wherein it gives command or an order, you can say, okay? It gives command or an order. It makes request, also gives an advice. Okay. So as I told you, my teacher said, "Leave the room immediately." She did not say, "You leave the room immediately." Now, in imperative sentences, we do not use the subject. Okay? The subject, that is you, is understood. The subject is hidden in imperative sentences. We never say, "You leave the room immediately." We always say, "Leave the room immediately." So we have a subject here, which is you, but it is understood and not said. So when I want to read this out, I'll say, "You leave the room immediately." Why we do not use the subject you while speaking the imperative sentences? The reason is that here you are directly speaking to the person whom you want to speak. So the one whom you are saying, "Leave the room immediately," okay, I am directly talking to that person. If I say, "Bring me a glass of water," then I am directly telling that particular person to bring me a glass of water. So it is understood that I am talking to you, I am ordering you. So you is hidden. I am again repeating, the subject is hidden here, but it is understood. So when I say "leave the room immediately," it's a command. Okay, my teacher commanded me, she ordered me to leave the room immediately. Let's say if I say "shut the door," okay, it's a command. If I say "bring me a glass of water," it's again a command, because somebody commanded me to bring me a glass of water. Or if I say "close your books," so I ordered the students to close their books. So what it exactly means is, you close your book, you shut the door, you bring me a glass of water, you leave the room immediately. But here we do not say you, it is just understood. Okay, so all those kind of sentences wherein it gives you order, okay, a command, all those sentences, they fall under your imperative sentences. Now talking about the sentences that make request. Okay. Now, we have a magic here, and the magic is that the sentences that we use as a command can also be a request. Let's say, for example, when I say, bring me a glass of water. Okay, so here I am commanding, okay, to somebody to bring me a glass of water. Okay, so again, the subject, that is you, it is not said, but it's understood. So when I say bring me a glass of water, it is a command, okay, because I'm ordering somebody here. But when I say the word please, so please here basically shows that I am requesting someone. Okay, it's a polite request that you are making to someone. So when I use the same sentence, which is a command here, after the word please, it is, please bring me a glass of water. So now the command is sounding like a request here because I've added the word please. So again, it is, you please bring me a glass of water. The subject is you here, which is again understood but not said. Okay, we do not mention it. So please bring me a glass of water. So because of this word please, it is a request. So when I say shut the door, it's a command. But when I say please shut the door, it's a request. When I say close your books, it's a command. But when I say please close your books, it's a request. Okay. So when you use the word please, it's a request that you're making to someone. So such kind of sentences that, wherein you're making request, they fall under your imperative sentences. Now talking about advice. Let's say that you're not feeling well, okay, and you are relaxing in your room, and then your mom enters and says, have your medicine and take rest. Have your medicine and take rest. So your mom here, she advised you, in order to get well, you need to take medicine and then take rest. So here your mom advised you to take your medicine and then take rest. Again, the subject, that is you here, it's not mentioned, but it's again understood. Okay. So such kind of sentences wherein you give order, make command, or give an advice. So those kind of sentences, they are imperative sentences. And imperative sentences, they always end with full stops. Okay. So we use full stop in order to end imperative sentences. Okay. Now do not get confused between declarative and imperative sentences, because we use the same punctuation mark to end our sentence in both these kinds. But the difference here is that in declarative sentences, they basically deal with the sentences wherein it gives a fact or an information, let's say, or an opinion. Okay. But here, imperative sentences, they talk about the sentences, where you are making request or giving an advice to somebody, or you are giving an order to someone. Okay. So this is all about the imperative sentences. Now let's talk about the exclamatory sentences. Okay, now let's talk about the exclamatory sentences. Now exclamatory sentences, they basically express your strong and sudden emotions. Okay. Now when I say emotions, so emotions such as appreciation, excitement, happiness, joy, sadness, or let's say surprise. Okay. So these kind of sentences, they are very loud. Okay. Now when I say that they are very loud, it means that because they show, very strong emotions, that is the reason that these kind of sentences, they are a bit loud. Okay. Now let's say, when I say, what a great book Raghav wrote. Now as you can see, I have used the exclamation mark here in order to end this sentence. So in exclamatory sentences, we use exclamation mark to end our sentence. Okay. So when we talk about this sentence, what a great book Raghav wrote. So here I am showing my appreciation, I'm appreciating the kind of book that Raghav has written. Okay. So by saying what a great book Raghav wrote, I am showing my emotions of appreciation. Now when I say, hooray, we won the match. Okay, so after winning the match, we are very happy, okay, because we have won the match. So I am here showing my emotions of happiness, joy, because we have won the match. So hooray, we won the match. So here also my strong emotions of happiness, joy can be seen. Similarly, when we say, what a beautiful weather, how beautiful she's looking today. Okay, all these kind of sentences which shows strong emotions, they fall under the category of your exclamatory sentences. And exclamatory sentences, they end with your exclamation mark. Okay, so hope you must have understood today's lesson and the last lesson wherein we had studied about interrogative as well as declarative sentences. So if you have understood all these, I would request you to attempt this quiz at the end of this video and check yourself. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.